What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another XRP update. If you're new and this is your first time to the channel, I highly recommend watching all of this one. Let's get into it. First things first, we have back in 2015, and this is aligning to what we know today because the DTCC is coming out with Project Ion, of course, reducing settlement time and of course payments. Keep in mind they are a behemoth. Even back in 2015, it shows that the DTCC settles the vast majority of securities transactions in the United States every year, as well as processing nearly 1.7 quadrillion dollars in value worldwide. If you've watched all the interviews, they even go on to say that we were the Fed before there was a Fed, and of course the former president of the entire organization was added as an advisor to Ripple Labs in 2015. And many people say, well, I haven't heard of Ripple until, 2018, 2017. Well, the big industry leaders on the back end absolutely have early on. All right. So we can see even right here, back when Ripple essentially announced this Ripple's Global Payment Steering Group, the GPSG, and this is literally RippleNet, guys, in 2016, we have a few banks that joined and really started it up. Bank of America, of course, Santander, all RippleNet partners, UniCredit, Standard Chartered, Westpac, Royal Bank of Canada, all these groups. And to no surprise, and I'm just kind of, going back in time to show you this before we get into the recent news, we can see the chairman of the Global Payment Steering Group and former president and CEO of the DTCC, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, Don Donahue. Keep in mind, that's this gentleman right here. And he goes on to say he's pointing out the significance of this event. So here he goes per his quote: "The creation of the Global Payment Steering Group is significant because this represents the first time that major banks have formulated policies to govern the transfer of money across borders using blockchain. I'm very excited to be part of this group of forward-looking leaders who are building the payments network of the future today." Absolutely love this. This is very evident of what's happening, saying it's really the first time. And if you've done your research, I've shown it on this channel probably maybe a year or two ago. We showed the actual timeline and the roadmap of the DTCC getting involved with blockchain. And of course, they didn't get involved until shortly after this gentleman was joined as an advisor and then was chairman of Global Payment Steering Group. Coincidence? I think not. I think that Ripple Labs was in fact one of the early fintechs that was already engaged with not only regulators, but some of the biggest industry giants in the game. You can go look to when they joined the Notch Alliance and essentially connect to the entire backbone of the electronic ACH network in the United States. So maybe it's all coincidence. I am betting that it is not all 100% coincidental in this case. Okay? So about the DTCC, as we know, there's been some recent news with them. So Matthew LINY, thank you, sir, for the tag, as well as Mbiagi. So we can see the DTCC put out this, is building a prototype for the Project Ion settlement system, which explores whether the digitalization of assets and applications of DLT distributed ledger tech can accelerate settlements and reduce cost and risk. My answer is yes, obviously it will, and it is simply a matter of time before this really starts impacting the rest of this industry. Keep in mind, this, T+0, T+1 settlement time, this settlement cycle is going to be faster and faster and faster. If you watched the gentleman in that 30-minute interview I uploaded a while back of essentially head of real-time payments at ACI Worldwide, they send $14 trillion per day, and they are a RippleNet user. Now, yes, I know they're not using XRP today, but can you even fathom what that would be like if they started to in that type of volume that you would be seeing? Now, digital assets are going to be the answer. The question is, which digital assets will they use and to what degree as well? So there's no questioning that, there's no contesting that, and I'm going to talk about the Ripple lawsuit and actually point you towards another resource to watch after this video. All right? So you guys can look at this if you'd like, just talking about accelerating settlement services. You get the gist. We've already covered this extensively. Here's the DTCC's exploration of DLT. Here's one of the roadmaps that I've shown in the past as well. So you have 2016 starting in 2015. Funny enough, is that a coincidence to you? I don't think so. We also know that even tracing back Ripple to 2004, you can talk about Ryan Fugger. You can talk about even OpenCoin being invested by Peter Thiel, which is him and Elon Musk started PayPal. Is this a coincidence that all of these groups are really backing some of the biggest industry giants in Ripple as soon as they started, and Ripple Labs and XRP Ledger was essentially born, already meeting with the Federal Reserve within just a few months? Thanks to great people like Greg Kidd, who's head of Global ID now, an early investor in Twitter. And let's keep going right here. So we have the DTCC, and of course, this is what they actually said. In 2017, we led the industry-wide initiative to shorten the United States settlement cycle to T+2, the most significant change in the market settlement cycle in over 20 years. In over 20 years, and we are still far, far behind. Remember, head of RTP real-time payments at ACI Worldwide was explaining, and he did mention Ripple numerous times, talking about SAMA as well, the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, which is deeply connected with Ripple. You guys can find that with a simple Google search. And even SAMA, the central bank of the UAE, essentially, they said that they have these sandbox environments where, fintechs and banks and, they can do little proof of concepts and tests. They specifically told Ripple, and we've seen this in interviews, they said, no, you're good. We have like a dozen banks. You're already fully compliant with us. You don't really need to do a sandbox environment. We're good to go live. Now, was that only referring to X-Current? Most likely, but nonetheless, this is showing the caliber of people in this ecosystem and how compliant and by the books they really are. We're going to talk about SOC 2 certification and what this means for the entire industry in this video as well. And keep in mind, if you watch that full interview, which I probably, bothered everybody too, because it's really, really good and really insightful. And, when I have money on the line, I'm willing to do whatever research it takes. And essentially, head of RTP at ACI Worldwide, RippleNet partner since $14 trillion per day, no big deal. This does include securities, though, as well. He goes on to say that it's not really, same-day settlements. It might appear so, that they, show that money's moving and, reconcile the funds quickly and all the clearings and obligations. But in reality, they're still kind of balancing the books and doing the actual settlement on the back end at the end of the day. So that is not what we are talking about. We are talking about utilizing XRP or digital assets in this ecosystem to have settlements with finality in a matter of seconds, if not even a few minutes. So there's no competing with this. And it's not only that, it's about operational, costs, reduction, or like operational efficiency, everything you can imagine. So SAMA is just one of those groups that even has been quoted to say that we want about 50% of transactions on or running over blockchain, and for good reason. This should be no surprise to anybody. All right. So we're going to see more narratives of this. Of course, this just came out on February 4th, 2021. So we'll keep a close eye on the DTCC. And right here, remember, I showed you the 1.7 quadrillion in 2015? Well, this says essentially just over 2 quadrillion in the year 2019. There are high value transactions. Yes, I know that RippleNet with remittance is targeting the low volume, so to speak, but there is also high value transactions with a lot higher volume. What do you think that does to even a simple order book like the price of XRP when it's consistently running over it? It creates a much higher price. And what happens with a higher price XRP? Makes it more liquid. It can send higher value. And then of course the flywheel effect takes place. The snowball starts coming down the hill. You cannot put that snowball back. You cannot put the genie back in the bottle. So that's why a lot of people are excited in this ecosystem, because they not only see the utility that we've already performed in over $2 billion transactions, but we are actually seeing the potential for a massive appreciation if XRP can break through this glass ceiling of regulatory clarity. To me, all the world's a stage. This has been one crazy game. The SEC has had 8 years to do something about it, and they're going to try to make an example out of the company Ripple. Now, could I be wrong about all of this? Yes, absolutely, and I entertain that possibility every single day. But do I think that XRP will survive and thrive in the future? Yes, I really, really do, and that's why I come here every single day. So this is not financial advice, just use this video as a resource as you continue doing your own research, all right? So I want you guys, let's see, right here. So this gentleman, Jeremy Hogan, on Legal Briefs, you guys can find his channel right here. You can go find it. Really, really good video he just uploaded last night, and I quickly watched it this morning. I really want you guys to watch this video. It talks about the good, the bad, and just overall his take of Gary Gensler with the SEC confirmation hearing. Kind of talking about a disappointment, but then also talking about the upside and still confident that, of course, XRP will finally get clarity, or that Ripple and the SEC will reach settlements. Once this happens, people don't understand. The SEC isn't really going to be able to come back after them again. There's too many projects, there's ICOs. They're making an example out of Ripple first. So Ripple, the company, XRP, the digital asset, they get beat up by the bully first, like he says in this analogy, and then they're good to go. And I know people might lose faith. They can chase other assets that go up 10x. And I have assets that have done exceptionally well, like 10x plus. But do I think XRP will do the same thing, if not even more, in the future? Yes, I really, really do. And that's why XRP continues to be one of my biggest holdings. I'm not looking to take profit tomorrow. I want to take advantage of the lower capital gains tax for, long-term holdings. but man, I just cannot wait for this to be worth it. And I'll keep up to date with it because XRP to me is one of the most exciting digital assets in this entire ecosystem. And just some of the dot connecting that I just did is 1% of the iceberg. It goes so deep, and I know a lot of great researchers in this community, you know, maybe even some people that watch this video, they get it, and they've probably gone even much deeper than me, but I'm just trying to keep it super high level for any newcomers. All right? Now, let's talk about some interesting stuff as well. So we have Roth IRA right here. This is a report from the Indian Ministry of Finance, September 2020. Now, they're actually noting Ripple in their use in 2017. Kind of strange that they're noting that now. I'm curious why. This document's quite large, 114 pages. You can do a control find right here. I'm just going to read this paragraph. In 2017, Axis Bank, which we've mentioned before, launched instant international payment services using Ripple's enterprise blockchain technology solution. The bank launched a service for its retail customers in India to receive payments from Rock Bank in the UAE. So we're saying India, the UAE, Axis Bank, of course. And for its corporate customers in India, so we have retail, corporate, you know, B2B, whatever, to receive payments from Standard Chartered Bank in Singapore. So remember, Standard Chartered, one of the founders of the Global Payment Steering Group, of course, in there. Now, we know their involvement with other groups with their platform Access and even Alipay in China, so it is interesting. Nonetheless, guys, I'm not saying that one group has an allegiance to Ripple or Stellar or JP Morgan. What I'm saying is these organizations are clearly interested in DLT. They are future-proofing, just like any smart organization does. And please do not sleep on what this technology will be doing for the future. I still believe XRP is not going anywhere, and there are huge plans for the use of it in the future. We showed $2 quadrillion plus already. The world debt right now just went over $28 trillion. There is so much friction in this ecosystem. If you do not think that XRP, Ethereum, XLM, VeChain, ADA, whatever you hold, can all do well and thrive together and go up substantially, I don't know what to tell you. This is going to be an internet of value. This is much more than just a bubble. This is going to be changing everything in the years ahead. So no doubt, just try to keep perspective. When in doubt, zoom out. Look at the macro. There's so much friction in this ecosystem, and they can actually complement one another instead of just trying to tear each other up and, you know, take value from each asset. There's a lot of value, or a lot of friction, that needs a solution. All right, so right here, guys, I was sharing this by The Block Crypto. So Ethereum now has an option on Amazon's managed blockchain service. AWS users can now set up an Ethereum node. Very cool, and actually join the public Ethereum main network on the Amazon managed blockchain. Now, of course, this is common. You guys can go to the AWS page. You can see they actually talk about the XRP ledger, of course, and why it's so much more superior, at least in terms of payments and energy usage and efficiency compared to Bitcoin. No surprise. And I wish Bitcoin well. I just want to preface that for the payment solution, XRP is just in a much better position. And that's a no-brainer, obviously, versus a proof of work consensus mechanism. And it did remind me, I don't need to bother you with the reading, right here, what I uploaded, let's see, February 3rd. So the new Amazon CEO knows the benefits of crypto, obvious connections to Ethereum, XLM, XRP, etc. And I have all the sources right down here if you guys can check that out. Just talking about Hyperledger, talking about American Express, Ripple Partner, you know, Ripple, Interledger Protocol, their connections with Hyperledger, and the backing by these groups. So wishing it really well. I just want to show you a few obvious connections. And keep in mind, another exciting ecosystem that has tons of like devs in this ecosystem and are excited to build is Polkadot. DOT. I'm sure you guys already hold a lot of it, but man, I'm just excited for innovation in this space. All right, now right here. So PayPal potentially to buy crypto custody firm Curve. Now, Curve is very interesting. We can see that there's been supposedly leaked information that they're buying Curve for $500 million. I have to check who owns Curve. I believe I saw people saying that it's actually owned by Gemini. I didn't confirm that though yet, so I have to go run and file my taxes really quick, but curious how that would look. And keep in mind, Curve right here. Curve and Elgrand partners to advance institutional digital asset security. Love that. You guys know that I've been a huge Elgrand buff probably since they listed it on Binance US in like late 2019. I love that it's gone up substantially, but yes, I still believe that XRP will catch up in a massive way in the future. So when another asset does well or something I hold does 5x or 10x, it makes me happy, but I also am well aware of what's yet to come when there's actually clarity and when adoption is finally able to skyrocket for good. So not a maximalist for XRP. I just am not an idiot and I know what's to come, and I'm a utility maximalist. So Curve, where have we seen this group before? Well, iTrustCapital, of course, and I'm actually sending more money here. I'm sending more from an old account to probably diversify a bit. I still have a lot of XRP on that platform, so I'll be checking that out as well. And notice, Curve, of course, and iTrustCapital, SOC 2 certified. Where have we seen that before in terms of security standards and custody compared to any other platforms or leaving your money on an exchange? This is like military grade custody, guys. This is what I feel safe for, at least holding my Roth IRA, an individual retirement account, on this platform. And links are in the video description if you want to get into crypto, precious metals, you name it. People will say, well, I don't want to leave, crypto on this platform for 40 years or until I'm 65 or 50 or whatever. Well, I mean, you don't necessarily have to. My plan of attack essentially is to leave some XRP for life. But if you turned, say, I don't know, 50K into 5 million, what's wrong with taking profit? Take 2.5 million profit. I'd go back with Fidelity or Vanguard, go into a conservative, index 500 fund. That's just something I'd be thinking of because I want my money to work for me and I want to take advantage of these waves of capital that'll still be coming. So SOC 2 certification, links are in the video description for iTrustCapital. Highly recommend checking it out and you'll be able to get a free month with the code KevinCage. Also, RippleNet, now SOC 2 certified. We've already read about the benefits of this, RippleNet Cloud, etc. I see a very bright future for the company Ripple. We've seen the Coinbase valuation, and they're valued at what? Like an incredible amount of money, like 100 billion plus, and they were valued at 8 billion. Well, Ripple, when Coinbase was valued at 8 billion, Ripple was valued at 10 billion. So you tell me in the years ahead, what the heck is Ripple going to be valued at in the future? That's what I'm curious about, and of course that will largely depend on what happens with this SEC lawsuit. If they come after the founders for their holdings, the XRP and escrow, which is measured in the billions, they see it as a threat. So it's the elephant in the room. I wish this company well. I wish the XRP ledger well, and just overall utility for the network. So XRP is going to be here to stay, but yes, I want Ripple to win this lawsuit. Do not be fooled by that. All right? Right here, Darren, part of course, the Algorand community. You guys can follow him right here if you can see that. Great dude, great researcher, and just showing, of course, the same picture as well. PayPal to buy crypto custody firm Curve. We see Algorand teams up with Curve Custodian, or the Custodian Curve for trusted DeFi. All good and great. Trends are our friends. And then also, Anders L, he had a really good point, and I want to share this before closing. So, talking about this ecosystem, talking about innovation, talking about the SEC, he's talking about this and saying one country, like the United States, in their strict regulatory regime, so to speak, they can't stop crypto assets. They essentially, by stopping it or trying to stop it, they're just chasing innovation away from their borders. I think we're all on the same page. We all agree about this. Yes, it's frustrating. But all in all, and I did see Anders L put out another tweet that I retweeted because I just love these quick thoughts as well. One country cannot stop like trying to stop crypto is like trying to stop the internet. And this is a new internet, or essentially the base layer. It's not even just the internet of value, because I feel like if I say internet of value, it's still underplaying the magnitude of what this all can change. So I think you guys get it. This is data, this is trust, this is goods, this is everything. Every transaction you can even fathom will at least interoperate or even run over blockchain. And blockchain is the subset. I'm talking about DLT as a whole. All right, and crypto whale, like I referenced, so breaking, U.S. national debt hits $28 trillion for the first time. I know a lot of people are saying that we can do more than that. Wouldn't surprise me at this point, just showing you this, the need for solutions now, guys, the need for solutions now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will probably try to get another video out tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your feedback down below, and just remember, the DTCC, Donald Donahue, you can check this out in the founding members of the Global Payment Steering Group. Is everything a coincidence? You guys tell me. I'll catch you in the next one.